Students are involved with relationships and love, and the question is, could you define in 2 minutes or less, what is love?
Love. Love is when somebody looks you in your eyes and you are not getting bored. See? Love is when you want to prolong the experience. Love is when you think that tomorrow will be better. That is love.
Wow. That was 30 seconds, but that's great.
Okay, that's it. The faster the better.
Good. Why shouldn't I intermarry? Why shouldn't I marry out of my faith? Doesn't Judaism believe in universal brotherhood?
Well, of course it believes in universal brotherhood, not only with black and greens and others, also with reptiles, with dogs, and with elephants. For many years I was one of the managers of the zoo, and I like them. I'm not going to marry even not only the elephants that I want to marry, they're too big for me. I won't marry the snakes, they're too dangerous for me. I don't even marry the gazelles. They're really beautiful and they have such beautiful eyes. But I won't marry them. So they're two different things. Loving and being being connected and caring for things is the one thing. Now marrying is making myself, unite myself with somebody else, which is not only for 2 minutes, for 2 minutes slay. See, you possibly know it or you don't know it. You are just chased nice boys and girls that never know it. But I say, okay, a 2 minute lay is not enough. It's not enough even if it's a 4 minute one. So the main point is, the point is how you plan a life together. And planning a life together is much more difficult than just saying a few words. I love you are words that are very hard to define and surely not to measure what it means. So, but basically, being married is, do I have, let's put it this way, in the Jewish rites of marriage, one of the things is that what the husband promises, he promises to honor his wife. It's funny, because see, to love his wife is very easy to say. It will pass with the dopamine, if you know about it. But it will pass with the dopamine. But to honor a person, which means, do I have a person that I want to cherish, to be father, if it is to be the father of my boy, or to be a mother of my girl. So that is not just a superficial affair. It is something that goes on. It goes on. It is genetic. It is more than genetic. It goes into being connected together and being able to knit myself with the person's fate, F-A-T-E, not faith. So that's for that. Even when we are searching, it's not always easy to find. Even when we are searching, we try to limit our search within those who are good candidates. And we are, I wrote about it in some place else, that we are selected of 100 generations of selections. We are the result of the 100 generations of selection, which is selection that doesn't make us the best, but it makes us the best Jews. So this is the way that we should continue.
You've written over 60 books. Prime ministers consult with you. And the question is, do you like being famous? Do you enjoy it?
Not especially. I don't have. I would like, if I had it, I could say, okay, I don't have time because I'm busy being famous. I don't have money because I'm busy and being photographed. But I like other things. You see, I like chocolate. But being famous doesn't help in this area. Usually not. I like, if I can read a good book, I like it. It's another thing. I sometimes like talking with people. Now, being famous has none of these things. So being famous is sometimes it's a good thing, a bad thing. The real problem is not being famous. Being famous, you see, if you bite a dog, you are also becoming famous. biting any dog, and a big dog is surely makes you famous. But the main point is, did you do any good? Did you do any good? So I spoke with so and so, and I spoke with so and so. What good did he do? Sometimes he does some good, and so then it doesn't really matter if I'm famous or not. I had mentioned few cases that I spoke with people, famous people, unfamous people, did some good. So that was important. Whether it was known or wasn't known, anybody knew everything. If the newspaper mandates, I suppose some of you are learning to be journalists, I'm afraid. So it's a dangerous profession, dangerous for the soul. It's a real dangerous profession, and possibly you should take a better profession, like being what I call bank robbers. It's more dangerous, but still, the profits are bigger. Anyway, to go to it, I'm saying it's not important the fame. It's important what the results are. Sometimes, if you are famous and you can do some results, it's all right. Sometimes it doesn't really matter. If it doesn't matter, it is not important.
You mentioned you like reading books. What 3 books were your favorite books that moved you or inspired you most?
I don't know. I cannot say. Books. One book was the Dr. Dolittle. It's true. I like the book. What can I say? Anyway, about it. That is possibly one book. There are several children's books that I like to read. Books for adults. In a way, I had a problem, but I could speak about it at length, which you don't have the time. I like Tolkien's book. Tolkien's the Hobbit on the Three Towers and so on. I like the book, and I found lots of interesting things about it. So from time to time I read books, long books. I learned from. I'm a fast reader, which is helpful for reading books, but not fast enough. So I possibly have to improve. Okay.
In one of your earlier writings, you wrote that inner peace is a fairy tale. It doesn't exist. A person can't get rid of inner struggle. What did you mean by that?
Oh, I don't know if I said it that. I said that the search for inner peace is something. It's a search for something that, if you get it, you possibly don't want it, because inner peace for most people is something like being what I call heavily drugged and not sensitive. Then you have inner peace. What is inner peace? People want on one hand to be happy, which means a heightened level of awareness. But if you have a heightened level of awareness, you are not in inner peace. You are in some kind of a tumult. You're some kind of a waves moving around you. But you are not in inner peace. Inner peace in the sense of being nice and quiet. Of course, people are busy here in America, and they are busy. I don't know why always, but they are running all the time, running. And if you are in New York area, you see them running all the time. And chasing their tails mostly, but running all the time. So these people want a little bit of rest, but they won't have rest, because if you give them a 5 minutes of rest, they go to a pub, to a cinema, to something else to take away the little the problem of how much do you really want to be in a inner peace? No, you want to be in a place in which your thinking capabilities will be diminished to zero. Your feeling of anything will also diminish, and then you will be happy. Nobody wants it really. So people speak about it because they are, of course, suffering. I mean, who is not suffering? You are suffering from what I call from a love affair that don't go right, from not knowing things, but failing an exam. You are unhappy about it. When you listen to those lectures of professors, you're surely unhappy. But see, that's not a great solution to have peace of mind and to sit and say, for example, just imagine that somebody can sit in a class and see a pipe full of grass won't do it. And that's what people try to do. They take grass, or they take heroin, or they take other things in order to achieve peace of mind. Pity. It's a pity on them. It's a pity on their brains. It's even a pity that they were born into human beings, because human beings are the ones that they are aware. That is best possible definition of what the advantage of humanity, the awareness. And if I am aware, it doesn't mean that I have peace of mind. I have a certain amount of happiness with it. The happiness in doing things, in living. The happiness of living, the happiness of being on the top of a mountain, the happiness of being in the middle of the sea roaring around me. It's not quiet, but it's happiness. Okay.
Why the Jews? Why so much hate? What is the reason for anti-Semitism?
Well, I was asked this question many years ago in Siberia. Of all places, there was a mixed crowd, Jews and non-Jews, and they asked me this question, and I said I have two basic answers. One answer is that Jews say that they are the chosen people. The second reason is that the Goyim suspect that this is true. It's still the main reasons of anti-Semitism. All the other things are excuses. But this is, see, we claim that we are the chosen people. We don't say that we are the best people. We are the chosen people. But being chosen, I don't know if you have any siblings. Again, I don't know what is the makeup here. But one of the things is you never want to be the most beloved child. And when somebody tells you that somebody else is the most beloved child, you are envious. And if you think it's true, that's it. It's not just, you see, the point is, Jews were kicked for many years, for many generations, kicked and trampled, and so on. And the people that kicked them didn't feel superior. See, they felt, okay, I kicked it. I just imagined that I would meet an angel, and I have a good shotgun, and I kill the angel on the spot. What will I feel? I'll feel like a heel, like an anti-Semite, and that's what they feel about it. So, but why is it? I say it's basically some kind of envy, not about our money that we didn't have so much as not our power, which didn't have. We have enough of those things, but basically it's the envy about we position ourselves as the children, as I say, to quote the Bible. It's a book that I recommend you to read, incidentally. No, really and truly, not to have it in your bookshelf. That doesn't. The Gideon books don't help much to the people in the hotels. See, so you have to have a book, but you read it. It's a good book, incidentally, really a good book. So they say, B'ni B'chor Israel, my first son Israel. We are not the first by historical means, but this is my chosen one. So that's why we are hated, and that is why, on the other hand, we hate ourselves, because sometimes when you stand alone, not with other people, and you stand and the nicest wish that you have is to kick yourself properly in the behind, which is not easy to do. But so to say, is this the chosen child of God? This, is this the chosen child of God? That's something else. That is our self-hatred. But basically, it's difficult, and we have to cope with it. It's one of the problems of the universe. Until it's healed, the universe gets healed. Hopefully, in a short while.
Jewish students at on campus, how do they have to struggle with the regular things on campus and then their Jewish identity?
Well,
how do they work those two things out?
It's not working those two things. First of all, if they have a Jewish identity. But the point is, see, look at sometimes, if you are in all kinds of universities, look at the Muslim students. They are active. The Jewish students are mostly dormant. And if you have any Jewish organization, it's mostly an organization of all the nerds in the university or in the college. Now, the point is, you have to be something. I mean, and if you are not, it just shows that you are. The fact, calling you dumb is a very endearing word. Basically, we should be active, and we should be active. First of all, one of the things it's just a simple advice that I heard it from an older woman from Georgia in Russia. She said, she came from an affluent and powerful family. I say, my parents told me, you have to be twice as good as anybody in the class. If you will be like this, you'll be an equal to them. So you have to know that even in America, it's the same thing is true. You have to be twice as good as anybody. So that's one thing. To be in equal basis with others, and you don't have to hide it because you have to be proud and not ashamed. And if you don't, one of the things that I'm planning, so if I may go out 2 minutes out of my time limit, I'll put it this way: I am working for years on one thing. There is a sentence: I am a Jew. The sentence has two melodies. One melody is the melody of I have hemophilia. I'm a Jew. I have hemophilia. It's not my fault. I inherited from my parents, really, and I'm not comfortable with it. I'm not proud of it, and I would like to somehow to get rid of it. The other that is one tune, one melody of the other melody is I am a Jew means I am a prince. I am a prince. If I'm a prince, I also am not guilty. I inherited it. I inherited the title. First of all, I want to inherit it to my children. I want them also to be princes. At the other side, if I'm a prince, I don't marry anybody. I want to marry a princess. I may be mistaken, but I want to marry a princess, and I want it to be inherited. I'm proud of it. So I want to change the tune of I am a Jew to the second tune. That's all.
You knew the Lubavitcher Rebbe very well.
Yes.
You had an unusual relationship with him. What were three of his greatest innovations?
Well, I spoke about them, but so I have to repeat myself. Okay. One of them was, I think, he changed the notion about how the Jewish history goes. Because before him, mostly, the idea was that my father was more Jewish, I will be less Jewish, and my son will be even less so. That was the notion was that we are in a part of a downhill involvement in history. He changed it and said, okay, your father didn't know a word of Hebrew. Your grandfather was a complete ignoramus, but you can be a scholar. Your grandmother didn't know the difference between chale and chometz, but you can be a great expert in doing all these things. So you can do it. So this was a big change that he made, and it had an influence not only on the people that are around here. Just imagine, some years ago, a rope like yours would be impossible. It was impossible. Now, I don't think that you are I hope so. I don't know. I don't ask you your opinion. Say, let me hope that you are the brightest and the nicest. Okay, about looks, so. But about brains, who knows what is hiding below the hair of somebody there. I don't know what the brains. Let's say that you are, but you see the point that you are coming. Nobody forced you really to do it. So you are coming. That is one of the things that he created a change. The other thing was he created also a big change was about the involvement of women. It was now in many ways. It was in the past. It was mostly men were playing the not only the lead but most of the music. The women were clapping their hands, encouraging. Now, women are active and are doing some things. And let me just tell, as I said before, I said the chess game. If you didn't listen to me, the chess game is a game that describes a Jewish family. There's a king, and he can move scarcely one square at a time, and he's basically defenseless. And you have the queen who is running all over the board, and he's the most powerful plaything there in the chess game. That's a Jewish family. So now instead of doing it as many Jewish women did to make their husbands miserable and to make them downtrodden vermin and so whatever, you can take them if you are. I suppose you are not married people, so you can take somebody, and instead of sitting on that fellow and trading him down by your overweight, so you can do something else. You can take a man and lift him up. See, it's another way of doing things. It's not only lifting up and being lifted by it. Having another experience, that is what in a way the Lubavitcher Rebbe didn't say to women to slap some of the boys that go around. So that is one thing. And then I would say the third thing was in trying to involve more and more people as activists, not as people that are recipients. See, one of the most sorry things is to see a Jewish synagogue. See, it's a boring, dead place. See, I said once in the OU conference, I said, I would like to see synagogues that are like small black churches, when people rise up and cry, Amen, Hallelujah. Did you see any such place? So the Rebbe wanted to do something, to instill some spirit, some life in the people. So he didn't do enough. And you are such a nice, fellow in a university. You can take some of the pupils and kick them upwards, which the Rebbe wouldn't say this kind of language, but I'm saying it. Kick them upwards. Make them in one way, which is the highest level of being a teacher, also of being a parent, that you can be proud of the people that you produced. So do it. So.
We have 1 minute left.
Okay.
So in the final minute, what would your message be to young Jews? I know it might be hard, but 1 minute, message to young Jews, but optimistic.
Optimistic. I would almost repeat Obama's, you can. You can. That's what I'm repeating. You can. You should. If you would, it's up to you, but you can. And you can do lots of things. And you can do more than you ever imagined. So try to do it.